Well, that certainly didn't take very long at all. The Ethereum price has broken out of its pennant, or call it ascending triangle formation, right about here, and that is indicating much higher prices to come very, very soon. Hey there, everyone. This is Joe, in general, your resident reason and evidence enthusiast. It is Thursday, the 23rd of November, 2017. Now, less than 48 hours ago, I posted this video right here, Ethereum breakout coming, what price next? And in that video, we were talking about this pennant or ascending triangle formation right here. We hadn't broken out of it, but it was coming up close to it. But I was suggesting that it should break out of it no later than about the 10th of December. I said, we could possibly have another bit of a retracement come down to the bottom end of this trend channel right here. But generally the breakout doesn't happen at the very apex here. So I said about the 10th of December, anywhere between now and then. But as you've seen, less than 48 hours later, we have certainly broken out very, very clearly. So that is indicating higher prices to come, of course, with little retracements here and there, quite possibly. Let's see how we got there. Maybe pop into the 15-minute time frame. This is the TradingView.com website. Now it's the Bitfinex exchange price. Always keep that in mind, what exchange price it is, and it's priced in US dollars, of course. We're currently hovering at pushing on 400. We may see a little bit of resistance there. I assume that there may be some decent sell orders at 400. It's a little bit of a psychological, I guess, even number value. I don't think it'll spend much time at 400 though. I think it might be possibly going to go a little bit higher after that. But here's where we came from. Where are we? This is on the... We broke out of it first. What's that? 22nd at 22:30. So that's what, 10:30. Don't know what time frame that is. I'm not sure what time zone they're talking about. I don't think it's mine. But we broke out of it, made a play higher, said nope, sorry, not going to happen. Although that was a failed move down as well. So we've been skirting around this area, up and down a little bit. Neither support or resistance, but now that clear, very clear break above. This is on the 15-minute time frame. Let's go to the 5 minutes, see what's been happening in the last 20 minutes, half an hour. After coming up to this little high of 390, a little bit of a retracement, and that's pretty natural after making such a large gain or a breakout there. Quick little retracement, but now bang, now we're up in higher territory right now. So again, as I said, 400's probably going to be maybe a tiny little bit of resistance, as it's a psychological value. Let's go back to the daily time frame. And I'll just adjust that right here. And let's talk about, now I mentioned these prices, and I mentioned this in the previous video, but if you are watching this for the first time and you didn't see the previous video, well, let me just quickly recap it right now. So this was the pennant or ascending triangle formation, and I used the TradingView.com tool, the linear Fibonacci extension tool. So I calculated it from this high and this low, the high of 412, the low of 136 roughly. And it gives us all these Fibonacci levels right here, but moving higher, it gives you Fibonacci extension levels. Now, breaking up from here, again, maybe a little slight retracement at 400, not quite sure, we'll see. Possibly a little retracement here at the old all-time high at 412, quite possibly, but breaking up from there, as I mentioned, you've got that psychological barrier of $500, which is roughly about there. You'll see a little bit of a sell-off there, I think, very psychological value, but the 1.618 linear Fibonacci extension, again from this high and that low down there, is at about 584 roughly. Now that's very close to 600. Again, we like even numbers. Human beings like, even kind of round numbers. 600, very even, very round. So you may see this kind of general area here as the potential next sort of high before a large retracement. Now, at some point, we're going to have to come back to here. Usually it's what happens, and visit the old all-time high. So what you could potentially see, and of course, this is probably not how it's going to exactly play out, but with some little bits of retracement here and there, quite possibly, we may hover around here as a next major target before then having a retracement all the way back down, very briefly, I would suggest, to that $412 mark. Now, it depends. could possibly go higher before we have that retest of that 412, but I think we're going to have that retest of 412 at some point. So it could retrace from there, but if we don't spend much time around here and we start heading higher, then the next Fibonacci level is the 2.618, and that's hovering at about $860. So that's around about there. So maybe quite potentially we could shoot all the way up to 860 and all the way back down. We definitely, as I said, probably very likely need to have a retest of that at some point, but we'll see where the price goes. And blue sky thinking, of course, punching up through there, and this I don't think is going to happen really soon, but of course you've got that very psychological barrier of 1,000. That's 1,000 for Ethereum is going to be like, I reckon, 10,000 for Bitcoin, which is going to be a big psychological barrier, which is coming up pretty soon with Bitcoin, I think, as well. I've predicted by the end of the year, in my opinion. So that is what's happening with the Ethereum price right now. Of course, hit the big red subscribe button right here on my channel if you want to stay updated with the Ethereum price, and of course my weekly Bitcoin price analysis. 6,888 subscribers. That is 130 new subscribers in the last 48 hours since doing this video. So if you want to join the family, subscribe today. Thanks again. I'll leave it at that. Stay safe, stay informed. Speak soon.